isn't going the way you want it? Have you been confused on what major or professional field to choose? Six Figures by 30 provides a 5-step career plan and gives tips on best practices for building a strategic resume, negotiating, interviewing, managing salary jumps, avoiding career killers, landing promotions, and much more. This book is designed to be your career compass that'll reduce detours and propel you to six-figure success. This book has created the secret sauce your career stew needs to get on the fast track to six figures. In reading this book, expect to develop a clear six-figure career plan, customized for you and your professional field. You'll learn how to develop a standout resume using the proper keywords and phrases in your industry to catch the recruiter's eye. You'll also learn ways to navigate salary increases, interview do's and don'ts, managing your brand, navigating job or career changes, and much more. Why gamble with no plan? Bet on your success. The first step is believing you can do it, and the next step is cracking this book open and getting started. Don't waste another day procrastinating. Purchase on Amazon or by going to the website, sixfiguresby30.com. That's the number 6figuresby30.com. Sixfiguresby30.com.
Coming straight from the A.
Kick it with your boy Kesey at www.kesey.com. His show covers some of the realest issues trending today. He'll keep you locked in from the first listen. You can find him online on his mobile app or at KYSII.com, XSquadAffiliates.com, iTunes, Google Play, and especially on the SME Network on Tuesdays at noon. You don't want to miss it.
Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir. Hour number 2. My thoughts on the birth of a nation and Nate Parker controversy is the title of today's show. Getting some of your thoughts on it. I think the movie, and welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is hour number 2. I think we got entertainment coming up here in about 15 minutes, some birthdays and quick little entertainment story. But I think the movie showed, what's the best way I can put this? It went a long way to show why, or give an explanation of why Nat Turner did what he did. There's saying there's no resolution without conflict. There's many sayings to that degree about change and how change comes. Change usually doesn't come, wistfully. It usually takes some big occurrence before things start to happen, things start to change. And man, this movie was it was an eye opener. The details and the things that Nat Turner had saw in his life from a very young age, up until the time where he decided to band together with these other slaves, man, and in effect, kill for their freedom. I mean, that's basically what it was all about. You know the story. I'm not going to go into detail once again, but I would urge you to go out and check out Birth of a Nation. 404-382-0338. Hey, one quick story before I jump back in the chat room on Spreaker.com. And I keep saying I'm going to remind you that today we are dedicating the show to the great Toccara Jones. Shut up! She's beautiful! We are dedicating today's Woman Wednesday show to the great Toccara Jones. We need to talk a little bit more about her and her career. But I wanted to talk quickly about Chris Bosh. So for the last, what's it been, the last 2 years basically, or last year fully, maybe even a year before, it's probably like 2 years, Chris Bosh has been, having these issues with these blood clots. And it came to a head this past training, the beginning of this preseason, where the Miami Heat gave him a physical and he didn't pass the damn physical. So in effect, his career is over. The guy's made over $200 million in his career. But Chris Bosh doesn't seem like he wants to quit. Like, if I had $200 million, you wouldn't have to tell me twice, to go and sit my ass down somewhere. Not only that, the Miami Heat still owed us ninjas $75 million. So it's almost like one of those little mystery thingies that they used to have on Scooby-Doo, where me and other ninjas are like, man, what's the problem with you, dude? You've got, issues with these blood clots, which I have come upon too closely in my life over the last year and a half. My line brother, one of my first line brother that I had to pass away from pledging to Q-Psi back in spring of 1990. One of my LBs passed away a couple of years ago now to blood clots. Went in for a routine knee surgery. Everything went fine. Home convalescing. And a couple of days later, he just died. He just fell out and died. And they're blaming it on blood clots. So that's not a playful thing. Okay, you could die. Here's a quote from Chris Bosh. He says, what I would say to those people who question him and why he doesn't want to go ahead and just retire, what I would say to those people who just see the money and kind of see my situation and say, hey, just walk away. I get it. I totally get it. I understand you. I hear you, Bosh said. But I'm not really thinking about money. I'm just thinking about where my heart is. I love the NBA. I love playing basketball every day for a living. But here's the thing about that, Chris Bosh, and I hear you. I used to like playing football too. I always talked about, man, if I could give my pinky away, I'd cut my pinky off to go back and play football. But when it's a decision between playing basketball and you being there for I think Chris Bosh has like 5 kids. That's right. He has 5 kids. When it's a decision between, first of all, it don't even have nothing to do with anybody else. I just want to continue to breathe every day. Let's start right there. I mean, knock on wood. I just am not in the mood to take an early dirt nap. Okay? But then beside that, when it's a choice between playing a sport, factor in that he's made, or at the end of this $75 million deal that the Heat still have to pay him, he will have made over $275 million in his career. And you weigh that against not being there for his 5 children? I still don't get it. I still don't get it. I still don't get it. It's still the craziest thing that I've heard in a long, long time. I like basketball just as much as the next guy, okay? Chris Bosh has played basketball probably his entire life. I know him. He went to Georgia Tech, has had a great career, has won championships, him, LeBron, and D-Wade and all those cats. But it's as simple as that, okay? It's almost as simple as Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. Whether you think that both of the candidates are bad or not, it's a very simple choice. There's one or the other. You can't vote for Donald Trump. You have to vote for Hillary Clinton. It's as simple as that. One choice, you got your kids and having their father around. The other choice is dying possibly. So I don't know, but that's a statement that he made. Everybody's been asking about him. The press asked him about it. The training camps are going on right now in the NBA. I actually watched a little bit of a preseason game a couple of nights ago. I love the NBA. Can't wait till the NBA gets back. I can't wait to see if LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers can repeat. Everybody's going to be gunning for them, or the Golden State Warriors are going to win 75 games this year as compared to last year. The NBA truly is fantastic. I can't wait. But it ain't that fantastic, bruh, that you putting your life on the line for a game. Oh, yeah, and they still going to have to pay you your damn money. I don't get that. Let me read some of your messages in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Late afternoon edition of the Doug Stewart Show. Paying homage to Toccara. Boy, there's a whole lot of woman right here. This is almost like Milk and Cookies lot of woman. Hey, Milk and Cookies. If you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, Milk and Cookies is one of the listeners, and she's in the chat room all of the time, and I got to meet her a couple of weeks ago when we celebrated the 2-year anniversary of the Doug Stewart Show. I told the fellas on the show that didn't get a chance to meet Milk and Cookies, you better pack a lunch. You try to run up on Milk and Cookies, you better pack a lunch. And one of those big-ass Herman the Munster lunch boxes. Same thing with Toccara Jones. She was the 8th contestant eliminated on the 3rd cycle of America's Next Top Model, where she won Cover Girl of the Week 5 times. She was voted as one of the most memorable contestants on AOL Entertainment. Man, Toccara doing it real big. Look at some of them damn pictures of Toccara. Not that I'm telling you to go out there and look at Film Farm Filth, but there are naked pictures of Toccara online. Y'all know that, right? I'm not telling you to go look at them. I'm just saying they out there. Let me grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug Stewart, what it do? John Fisher in the building, baby.
John Fisher, what up, baby? How you doing?
What's going on, Doug Stewart, man?
Man, I'm great. What you got for me, brother? What you got?
All right, I hear you talking this NBA stuff. Now, I want to ask a couple questions to you and all the Stewies, all right?
Okay.
And I need to travel to the land of hypotheticals, even though I don't like that. If this year Julio Jones' contract was expired and he decided to go to New York or Pittsburgh, will we rip him?
Would we rip him if he goes to New York or Pittsburgh? Would we rip him? No, we wouldn't.
All right. Now, if Odell Beckham Jr. decided after this year, let's say hypothetically speaking, the Giants lost to the Falcons in the playoffs, and Odell Beckham Jr. decided, okay, I'm going to go play with Atlanta, will we rip him?
No, I know where you're going with this, John Fisher, but it's 2 totally different scenarios. You're talking about Kevin Durant going to Golden State or when LeBron went to Miami. One's basketball. It's 5 players. LeBron James, they built the team surrounding him. He's from the state of Ohio. He's from Cleveland. Totally different. And oh yeah, all the veteran, legendary players said that they would never. The culture of basketball is not to just tuck your tail between your legs and run to the competition. It's totally different between basketball and football.
I dig that. I do dig that. But do we expect him to be Charles Barkley and attempt it when it's too late? Do we expect him to be Karl Malone and Gary Payton? Well, Gary Payton ended up getting one in Miami. But do we expect him to be Karl Malone and try to get one when it's too late on the super team? Or should we just be like, okay, yeah, it wasn't the strongest move ever, but at the same time,
it was actually pretty damn weak for them to be up in that series. What, 3-2 or 3-1 even, I believe, 3-1 in that series. And then he gives all of these reasons, and it kind of appears that he's trying to go and get a ring with the Golden State Warriors when they were 1 game away from making it to the finals. They would have been favored in the finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers last year. It's pretty damn weak, Microwave.
All right, Doug. Well, I tried, man. I tried. I need to see. It is what it is with Kevin Durant now. I tried.
Yeah. So you were talking more. You were talking more to the Durant story. You definitely didn't go back to the LeBron back to Miami thing, did you?
Well, no, I wasn't going back that far because I felt like, okay, if at this point in time, being a narrative that I was trying to shape, if Julio and Antonio Brown decided to go to New York, we wouldn't really look. It's football, so it's so many other guys on the field, like you pointed out. There's so many other guys on the field, so I couldn't really bring it to be like, oh yeah, well, So I had to try to keep it as real as I can to be one player for one player joining a team that was going to be superior after he joined there. But
right,
you kind of squashed that, Doug.
No,
that wasn't fair.
And I hear what you're saying, man. What do you think they're going to do in Golden State? They won 73 games last year. You think they're going to win more or they're going to win less?
I got them winning about 63 games this year. I don't think they're going to try to push the pedal to the metal because all of those dudes were gassed. They still don't have no defense. They still don't have any defense other than you can say Iguodala, who's like 11 years old. So outside of that, I figure, you got Draymond as well and Clay. But I don't know, man. I'm not quite sure these guys can beat Cleveland. I would expect them to. But I'm not sure that they can really beat LeBron. LeBron is just too smart of a player. Yeah.
Hey, appreciate the call. That's the Patty Cake Microwave. My man John Fisher in the building. He actually has a show that comes on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network every once in a while. So shouts out to you, John Fisher. And if you're new to this show, first time you've heard me on this show, man, I really go in hard on these cats in the NBA, these superstar players. That hightail it and go to a team where they think they can win a ring. Winning on LeBron James a couple of years ago. Winning on Kevin Durant last year. Very disappointing with the Kevin Durant thing. Very disappointing. All right. We're going to take a break. Entertainment up next. This is the Doug Stewart Show.